I know I complain about sleep deprivation a lot, but last night was really strange because I was waking up every 10 minutes and having very vivid memories of owning a USRAO 60 because it was extremely cheap. And not in like a video game or something. Specifically specifically in real life. Anyways, I guess we've learned something. I guess we've learned that USRAO 60s are cheap in reality. What do you know? Hello everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody had a better night's sleep than I did. Today we have actually started a little bit early because I was a little bit behind on setting up the interchange. Tooth pain kept you up so on? Aw, that's no fun. See, after our conversation last night, Munch, I actually made sure to do good teeth hygiene today. Or at least I tried to. Wait a minute, hold on. There we go. That's much better. I'll be hijacking the diesel once these guys have figured out their maneuvers in the yard. I wasn't able to fall asleep until 4:30 and I didn't wake up until 11. Dude, basically same thing happened with me. I couldn't fall asleep until like 4:30. Actually, I think it was 5 a.m. But the thing is, I was still trying to sleep, and so that helped a lot. And I woke up at like 10. There was a Splatoon event, and I really wanted to get one last round in. I didn't. I failed to get that one last round I was looking for, but... The Sturwalkie Oh, I am stealing that name for the next save that we have to start up. Oh, that's so good. Do we have a name for the SW1 yet? No, we don't. You know what, though? I think I have an idea for one. Equipment, customize, Skyline. Oh, wait, right. 6 characters. I can't do it. Bandit? Bandit could be good. I was gonna go with Skyline, though, because of a photo that my father and I have, which might be a little bit of a story time I should tell. What other names can we fit in 6 characters? And what would be something good for a light blue locomotive? Hey, T14, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Lydia, the diesel is sworn to carry your burdens. We'll name it King Arthur. Speaking of name, recently decided on the Dillsborough Dragon as a name for my passenger train. See, all I can think of is Bad Dragon when you say something like that, because Dillsborough sounds a little too close to a certain product. So you're replacing your Steam stuff? Nope, we just have one diesel engine. This is the switcher for the Whittier area. Also, it seems Mudge has left this to me, so it is time for a little bit of work. Unless, actually, hold on. Never mind, it seems we're gonna be sitting here for a few minutes, so, the name King for a switcher, that's not too bad. Yeah, she is well mined, Mudge, but also y'all need cabooses, and I better not get in the way. I'll hold off for a couple of minutes. I kind of need the entirety of Whittier anyways. If you do railroad name, BR name here, it should display as a second row. Oh, I know. Works just like it used to in Railroads Online, but the problem is, if I remember correctly, it doesn't, like... It makes the text slightly smaller. I mean, there's only one way to find out, though. Let's see here. Skyline. Yeah, no, that makes the text smaller. I like the big text. You can also size the... Oh, Mudge, you remember how I spent all that time trying to resize the text to make it look good on that one save? You think I would know. You think I would remember this. Some really exciting news I've done for my railroad recently. Got my hands on a C46 and an SW1. C46 is fun. I haven't played with that engine enough. Maybe that should be the first engine we go for if I expand the railroad to, like, Silva. Hold on. Okay. Size equals 100. This is just gonna make things stupid. Ashland Pacific, BR, Skyline. Well, I mean, the text is sort of the same size. Okay, hold on. What was the other one? It was... I actually have notes on this somewhere. I need to look it up real quick. It is line height equals 60. That's a little too close. 70. There we go. That's better. Oh, no, that's too early. There we go. Didn't know about line height? Well, now you do. Now you can be extremely nitpicky about, where exactly the text on your engines is. What if you off-centered Skyline? I was considering that, but the one problem I have is that it's going to offset it on both sides, and instead of it being up near the front on this side and up near the front on this side, it's going to be up near the front on one side, but up near the back on the other. So might as well just leave it centered. Alright, number 2, you are lined up to the caboose track. Take at your own pace. We shall sit here patiently waiting for the job to be done. Oh, I just realized also we'll have to do another trip for logs later on down the day. Because I forgot to set up the sawmill, so we've unloaded all the logs. Oh, well, that's a problem for future me to figure out. Alright, so, I guess I should clarify, the reason I wanted to name this locomotive Skyline isn't just because it's sky blue. So, my father and I got super lucky with the house that we moved into, because we got it on February 15th of 2020. And we moved in February 20. I guess we bought it a little before then, but we moved in on February 15th, 2020. We all know what happened in 2020. And apparently one of the reasons we were able to get the house as soon as we did is specifically because the previous owners had somebody who lived there, who was unfortunately had been deceased for quite some time, who had made a model railroad of their own that was massive and took up the entire flipping basement. And my father pointing out that we were model railroaders apparently was a mild deciding factor in whether or not we got the house as fast as we did. And eventually we actually found out what the name of the guy's railroad was. And the only way we figured it out is because the family sent us photos of his old layouts. And we could also tell, you know, some of these photos were from a previous house. From before the from before this specific house, but one photo in specific was just of a switching locomotive. I think it was an SW7, not an SW1, but it was labeled for a railroad we had never heard of, the Skyline Valley. And after a little bit of digging, we realized the reason we hadn't heard of it was probably because it was the guy's own model railroad. And so I've sort of been honoring that off and on for the last couple of years, honoring the Skyline Valley. Adding little references to it here and there. Though if I really wanted to honor it, I would make this a yellow and black paint job with yellow lettering and just a black main color. Maybe I'll do that later. In memoriam to the old man. Yeah, exactly. I have no clue what his name is because I never got to meet him myself, and he died like 20 years ago at this rate. But his memory shall live on. Had an interesting encounter with the guy at the Gainesville Depot the other day. TLDR, this crippled guy wanted to ride to a church about 10 minutes away. Me being too nice for my own good, I gave him one. He said some really weird things and eventually told me to take him back to the depot. It was a really freaky experience, and my family is still giving me crap about it. It was the industrial part of Gainesville, and it is a really sketchy area. Some Norfolk Southern employees pulled up behind me to make sure I was okay. That's a wild part of the experience. Things so sketchy that the Norfolk Southern employees come up and make sure you're okay. Just got back from lunch and wanted to see how things are going for you. They're going good, and they're going good. Currently, just switching out the sawmill area. Well, actually, we're not switching out the sawmill area. We're switching out the Whittier area. We'll be doing the sawmill in a little bit. Setting up a diesel fueling stand. Having some fun telling crazy stories about our weeks. Life is good. Did you just dump the air on those guys? Yeah. I often just use the air brakes. I know some people like using hand brakes for stopping cars, but sometimes I'll just use the air brakes when I know I'm going to pick them up soon enough anyways. I recently figured out how to really easily change the stats for rolling stock and railroader. First thing I did is make the heavyweights have a cap of 100, so it has a use now. I feel like 100 might be overkill. I feel like it'd be more interesting if it was in between. Actually, hold on. How much weight do those things have? The Palace cars. 81,000 pounds. 100 actually isn't too bad of an idea. Never mind, scratch what I was gonna say. I sometimes leave the air hooks the air hooked when uncoupling. It's a pain to recharge a 20-car train from 0 to 90 psi with a steamer that is also trying to recharge. That is very true, but that's why personally I usually only set the brake to like 69, 70%. Because then it'll recharge quicker and you don't slam the brakes immediately, you know? You don't have to sit there for an hour. I guess it really depends on the circumstance whether or not I want to slam the brakes or not, though. So you got a diesel. Well, word on the grapevine, we'll be getting some more diesels. Are you interested in the GP38 or Alco RS3 in development as we speak? GP38 seems a little too modern for what Railroad is trying to aim for, personally. But the RS3 is exciting. RS3 might be the first big mod that I really want to get. I still wish, though, that the diesels were more appropriately power scaled. Because, one, You would need like two GP9s to match the strength of a Burke. And even then, you'd still be a little bit weak. I kind of wish that diesels were like diesels in reality, you know, where their fuel consumption is really good, but their actual strength is kind of bad in comparison to the engines you can get at that point. Have you heard about the Virginian articulated in development as well? I have. That thing is going to be so absurd. It's almost twice as strong as the flippin' Santa Fe. But then again, we have to deal with Robinson's Gap, so I totally wouldn't blame anybody trying to use one of those engines. Someone was making modern Pullman heavyweight coaches. That'd be cool. It'd also be cool if there was a mod that just added some extra types of coaches that don't actually change any statistics, but just look cool. Like, could you imagine if we had, like, a parlor car and, like, a sleeping car? Or, like, a dining car or something. That'd just be fun to have, you know? I want liveries. Entirely fair, entirely valid. Hello, Gilsonite. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Don't mind my keyboard jumping like a... I don't know why. Every time I shove it backwards, it just bounces around like there's no tomorrow. My dad said he wants to plan a train trip on the Canadian for the next spring. I really want to experience Canada, but at the same time, Super Nintendo World opens in Orlando next year. I can't choose between a trip to Canada or Orlando for Nintendo World, plus probably Brightland. That's a tough decision, honestly. As a Nintendo fan, that would be heckin' incarnate to pick between. Or I should clarify, as a Nintendo and a train fan. I think I would probably go with a Canadian simply because I know my father would also be invested in doing something like that. Clouds are very pink right now. February 14th looking clouds. That's right. Instead of calling that the look of sunrise, that is the look of romance. Somebody put a rose between their teeth. There's a parlor car mod on Nexus, and they work as an observation. That's cool. Rows between their teeth while Mario Party while Luigi intensifies. I mean, I could be lanky enough. I could pass as Waluigi. I just need to grow a comical mustache. Earlier today I had to do some homework that was writing a love poem between two characters in the book we're reading for English class. This was not optional either. What? Why? That's kind of dumb if you ask me. As somebody who likes writing poetry, no. Bad. If you were Waluigi, stir, your chances to be in Smash Bros. Is very tiny. Oh no, I have a 100% chance if I were Waluigi. Come on, just as an assist trophy. That's the only caveat. I just had a terrible thought. Anyone got bleach for the brain? Simple. It's called cat videos. They don't always work, but it might help. Just go watch a video of a cat trying to leap over a wall and falling and failing and laugh your ass off. Easy solution. A lot of cool mods in development. I'm really excited about the Chinese SY that someone's making. It's a 282 Mikado. That's going to be interesting, seeing non-American locomotives. Then again, I say that, and I totally know that there's already, like, some European... I remember seeing somebody posting a picture of a European electric multiple unit. Hey TK, welcome to the stream, welcome to the stream. You're only a half an hour late, that's not so bad. And don't. School's finally out for me. I finished the year with 6 A's and 1 B. That B really annoys me because it was 0.06% away from an A. That's one teacher spiting you, man. That is painfully hilarious. I love it. Found myself stumbled into the Discord server. Hey, we've been getting a lot of people getting onto the Discord server who haven't been there before. It's been really nice, slowly growing the community. Also, I see I see somebody likes the fancy text formattings. That was a bit of a hard bonk. Oops. Had 3 Bs last year, want to get all A's again. Oh god. My senior, when I graduated, our teachers like doing something called the senior roast. They just complain about random things that the students do. And I feel kind of bad. Like, the senior, you'd have an advisor at my school. You know, one teacher would be your dedicated advisor to make sure that you were on track and all that jazz. But hold on, uno momento. My roast started off complimenting me on how amazing my grades are. Or I should say, were. And then it went on to like a 10-minute rant about how I almost flunked out of high school. And somehow it actually wound up being one of the most heartwarming speeches in the entire event. That was fun. I already Discord. Ooh, 10k members. Let's go. God, that's nice to see the support for the game. That's awesome. Passed math my senior year with an exact 70. It passed by hair. Hey, if we've learned anything from math, exact is what we're looking for. Exact is exactly what you need. Hello, Charlie. Well, Charlie, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Math teacher decided to make her final into a project. We had to design a mural for the back of her class, and I got paired with the laziest people in class. Only 2 of us worked, and we got a D-. Dude, I feel that. That happened a few times in, when I was in middle school. It was pain. Hello, Katie. Hello, Train Engine Jack. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Currently working on a video about the Bachmann 440, so I'll just have this in the background. It's going good. It's going good. I was a little bit behind today. We started the stream still assembling some of those trains, but aside from that, we're doing all right. Speaking of 440s, I'm actually kind of half tempted to buy like one of those Bachmann HO scale Jupiter models and try to convert it, scratch build and convert it into like an ON30 locomotive. I am so tempted. I know I probably shouldn't. It's a lot of money for a project when I still haven't even painted up my 460, but I am so tempted. I, for one, was a good student at high school. I didn't drink or smoke slash vape in the bathroom, except in recent years that latter thing was a thing. I didn't do that either, but I heard some horror stories. I think the funniest horror story from my private school about the bathrooms was the time that somebody opened one of the doors to the bathrooms without knocking to see if anybody was in there, and the door wasn't locked, and so they just walked in on somebody taking a dump. It could have been much worse. They could have walked in on 2 people in the bathroom rather than just 1, but fortunately we didn't have any horror stories of that. We did have horror stories from other times where 2 people were caught doing questionable things, but this is great to have on in the background while playing Railroader. Alright, Nina, I'm gonna have you lined into... I think you might already... Yeah, you're already lined into the East Whittier yard. You should be good to go. We might need a little bit of a weird maneuver to get you out of the yard, but getting you in should be a walk in the park. Fun fact, there are 2 people in my English class that never seem to bring a pencil. They constantly forget to... How do you forget to bring a pencil to English class? How do you forget to bring a pencil to class, period? Like, isn't that kind of important? Isn't that kind of vital? Seer came damn close to breaking me. On top of all the academics nonsense, I had to deal with figuring out my emotions and the antics of my idiot classmates. Yeah. We love those years. You'll remember them for the rest of your life, TK. And you'll look back with a fond distaste of the decisions that you've made. $300 for one of those is disgraceful. I know, right? Like, at Train World is $220, which is a lot better, but like... If I'm gonna be spending $220 on a locomotive, why don't I just buy another trench engine and build another snickerdoodle, you know? Like... Okay, actually, I have been making plans recently. Very silly plans, but plans nonetheless. To take a trench engine and convert it into a Micro 260. Men say, be a man, work out, eat meat, etc. But for us to be men, we play Railroader. To show our manliness, this is how you drive an SW1. You have to make sure that it doesn't overheat and you don't use the throttle too much. You don't want to apply it at too fast a speed, and Derail Valley controls intensify. On last Monday, I got to watch 2 particular dinguses who took a botch of... Botch? A botch? What am I saying? A box of Sour Patch Kids and snorted the salt and citric acid from it. Once when I was a kid, I snorted, like, cocoa powder. Just for shits and giggles. Like the stuff you do to make hot chocolate, right? That hurt so much. Citric acid? The salt? Why? Oh, God. My math final wasn't even the worst one. My geography final consisted of 6 maps, 2 encyclopedias, and 10 essays. I aced the maps but couldn't finish the essays. I failed it but passed with a C-. Better than nothing. Geography can be kind of rough. I remember I did pretty well in it, though. I remember that most of the kids in that class did not do well in it. Do schools still use pencils? I thought they just handed out tablets. I know a lot of schools have, like, Chromebooks that they use as, like, basically mobile computer labs, but I don't... I think they, yeah, still use pencils. Admittedly, I'm not really somebody who knows much about schools right now, but... I would expect handing out tablets would be kind of pricey. Minus Chromebooks, they are terrible. Yeah, mine had Chromebooks too. They were, sure something. I mean, it kind of made sense because we were a small private school and there was literally no space for a computer lab, and so having a bunch of cheap laptops that we could use for, like, internet searching was useful, but they were a bit strange. I should try converting a trench engine into a standard 262. I have a plan on how to do that, actually. It would be easier to do that, Katie, than to do a 260 conversion. Not really too much of a surprise, because, you know, it would not require actually chopping off the trailing truck. But it's also because I wouldn't need... I would be able to purchase a couple of cheaper components. Because for the 260, I would need a shorter boiler. And the shorter boiler is a 3D print, and it's actually more expensive than buying the longer one from Bachman's used parts website. I've considered it. It could be a really fun little project to build a small 262 out of the trench engine. Somehow aced an AP World History final test, and it was the first time I ever took a final on the ABC grading system. Wait, does that... You didn't use the ABC grading system before then? Lucky. My school's Chromebooks do 5 FPS with 3 tabs open. Goodness, we didn't have Chromebooks nearly that bad. You could run YouTube music in the background, and you'd be able to have like 20 tabs open, and you'd be just fine. 5 FPS with 3 tabs? Hot damn. And there was one guy who ate 100 expired gummy bears while watching his stream. I wonder where he is in life right now. He's 6 feet under. More academic pain. My geography class, around my table, is right next to all the thorny mother effers. Next to me, the ace guy. For the last 2 weeks, I took it into my own hands and just sat in the corner on the opposite side of the room. Love my high school history / geography teacher. Sadly, he ended up passing away before... Oh, that's sad. Sorry to hear that. I've only ever heard about one teacher passing away, and that was a few years after we left. Apparently, dude had cancer, and I just didn't notice. Admittedly, he had all his hair still, or maybe he had a wig that was extremely convincing. Going back to bathroom horror stories, every time I went into the bathroom, I had to hold my breath and pray I didn't get contact high. It was a visible fog that smelled like every fruit ever. Kids, responsible. Fortunately, that never happened for us. I do know that some people definitely, definitely used the bathrooms for other services at my high school. One kid actually got expelled for that because he was acting really creepy towards some of the other kids, especially girls. It's really... It was really sketchy. Also, sorry about that. Why? Do I have allergies or something? Why have I been sneezing every time I stream? Am I allergic to being on camera? I had 1 to 4. 3 was a passing grade. Hated it, and it let me procrastinate doing my work because you couldn't fail anything. Just try it over and over again until you pass. That's kind of stupid, honestly. Aha! Okay, I see your plan, Nina. That makes sense. That makes sense. And you can just drop the cars for East Whittier on the track I'm currently on. Sounds like a plan. Did appear on a few of your streams afterwards, including one of your streams. Forgot his username. What was it? Baguette? Something like that? Oh, right. I'm remembering this vaguely. I can't remember usernames for the life of me. Senior pranks this year relay. Most of it was just the table/chairs in the cafeteria scattered around the halls. They did hang an armchair from the upstairs balcony, but that was the best thing they did. What they should have done, TK, they should have put a pumpkin on the roof of the school. Perfectly carved out jack-o'-lantern. Hungarian senior prank number 1, water gun. Bro rolls around in a shopping cart with a water gun and randomly shoots people. I wish I was there to see something like that. I wish we had senior pranks like that. That sounds fun. At least all 6-ish bathroom... Ah, God, I cannot words. At least all 6-ish bathrooms aren't closed due to people smoking. See, if we had 6 bathrooms closed to people smoking, that would be more bathrooms than there were in the school. So that would be very concerning. I think our school only had 3 bathrooms, and one of them was the teacher's restroom. Remember the one time I walked into the bathroom and there was a fog so bad you couldn't see the ceiling. Father of toxic gas and chemical warfare. Sun Tzu. The class above me got a crane and put one from one of their dads and put the principal's Miata on the roof. Oh my God, that's legendary. Ah, man. Can you imagine the amount of work required to get that down? My birthday was a couple of days ago, and there's a green box about perfect size for an HO train. I removed the wrapping paper, and there was a white box with French writing on it. I thought it was a table leg because it was so long, but it was a River Rossi Southern Pacific 08. You know what? You know what? And if I ever buy my father something for, well, okay, not if I ever, but if I buy my father a big locomotive for Christmas, I'm going to put it in an IKEA furniture box, and I'm going to try and make it look like I bought him a table. My English teacher's class disassembled the principal's car and rebuilt it on their gym roof. Damn. That must have taken some serious coordination for everybody to figure out how to disassemble the damn thing, not lose any parts, and then rebuild it on the gym roof of all things. That's amazing. Ooh, your first steam train? Hey, let's go. Noedo is a great place to get started. They got it down for him the next day, and then had it detailed and got it a tune-up and an oil change so he didn't murder anyone. He probably did still murder somebody. Just nobody found out because they sacrificed the one guy. They threw him under the bus. Before my school was built, the seniors at the town's old school put a fish in the air duct, and the school smelled like fish for the rest of its existence. Did nobody ever find the fish? Like, they know it's somewhere in there, but they just don't know where. Or you guys have seen your quotes? My nickname in school was Mario, so my quote was, "Thank you so much for playing my game." I don't actually remember what mine was. Maybe I should go back to my yearbook and find out. Can't decide if it'd be cooler to offer horse rides, let people play Nerf in the school grounds, or let someone get someone to fly helis in and out of here. Horse rides would be one hell of a thing to do as a senior prank. Nobody found the fish. Just sat there just decomposing for years until the school was demolished. So the fish outlived... Well, okay, it didn't really outlive the school, but the fish's corpse outlived the school. Finally finished cleaning and polishing tracks, so I now have a diesel locomotive running around in an extended loop with a CP rail boxcar that I can't use a switch. Why not run the steam engine? Track cleaning is an eternal struggle, though. Like, before I even started running the 4x6 layout that I built for the channel, the track was so dirty that I had to actually go out of my way, get some rail zip, get a sock, and just smudge it up a little. Pain. The principal was known to us as Mafia Mike, so you never know. I hear the Tony voice in my head. The mobster's coming. Hey kids, how's it going today? Y'all getting good grades? You better be getting good grades, otherwise, well, your parents are gonna hear about it. The ultimate threat, not that you're gonna be sleeping with the fishes. Back with the Bachmann 440. The other problem I have is, say you're on a budget and can't afford the high price of DCC, but you want one paint job that's not available in DC. Even the DC engines that Bachmann makes, they're so expensive. Like, isn't it like $170? Well, I'm using Train World pricing here. $170 for the DC HO 440s. That are DCC ready, admittedly, but if you want to get the DCC and sound versions, it's only $220. Like, it's what, a $50 difference? Like, it kind of forces you to get the sound ones in a way, you know? The steamy is dirty and dusty, and the wires are reversed? What? I'm not fixing that, so now I have a reverse steam train. Hell yeah. It's gotta be so fun. Oh yeah, so we've been running the diesel this whole time, and now so obviously when when the direction toggles to the right, the engine runs to the right. Right? Wrong. On Bachmann's website, it's $200. Yeah, Bachmann's website, it's always so expensive on Bachmann's website. Like the trench locomotives, they're what, like $470? Don't get me wrong, I think the $170 I got my trench engine for was cheap, but like, 100 just through a secondary retailer, you can get them for such little money. My father has mentioned that their markups are insane, though. It's like a 45 to 50% depending on the item. My senior prank is going to be something involving Lionel trains and several miles of track. Build a Lionel ladder around the school grounds, more like cover the entire main circle of hallways with Lionel tracks as far as the eye can see. Just have the J1E running around in circles. Unsupervised, racking up the power bill. Yesterday I found out that one of my engines was DCC equipped and I had no idea. I don't have a DCC controller and I'm worried that the decoder is completely fried. Do you know how old your DCC system is? Or not system, sorry, your locomotive is. Because a lot of modern decoders are designed to run both DC and DCC. Like, I think literally every Bachmann engine I have in ON30, all of them have dual mode decoders that are designed to work with DC and DCC. Math teacher from last semester was this old Italian guy who swore a lot, and then would excuse himself and was overall just the chillest teacher I ever had. Why am I going with this very awful stereotype? But if I found out he killed a guy, I wouldn't be surprised. Could be worse. Could be the average 1,788% markup that printer ink typically gets. Costs around 150 a gallon to make and sell and sells on average for 2,700 a gallon. Yeah, no. Printers are a little bit of a scam. Actually, I have two of them. One was the DC Santa Fe 91 that was chipped, and the other being my favorite real locomotive, my boy, if you will, the General. We love the General. We had a Mantua 440 for the longest time. Uh-oh. Oh, no. The list keeps growing. Oh, hold on. I need to see this. Mistakes have been made. Can't stay for long, gotta build an actual steam locomotive. Ooh, have fun with that, Orson. That sounds exciting. Gonna be building a live steam engine. Recently, my P43 has kind of not really noticeably been struggling on the grades a little bit, but I asked Angry about this, and he literally thought I was talking about an Atlantic. That's why I got oof. Hey, the C46 a good little engine. It's reliable. That's kind of funny though. Miscommunication about the Atlantic struggling. How do I put in an application to work on your railroad? Applications are simple. It's just a Tier 2 Ko-Fi membership or a Tier 3 channel membership. We have a little secret Discord chat where I sometimes also invite people to play games in the middle of the week when I have to like do a little bit of work. Imagine a joke update for Railroader that instead of running a railroad and driving trains, you can only invest in the railroad stock market. The AIs drive the train for you, but they don't know what they're doing, and so they keep derailing, and so no matter what you invest in, you always lose. Get a K35. We probably will when we get another member or two. A K35 would be a perfect little locomotive for running between Silva and Bryson. A little bit heavier duty than the engines we already have, you know? So the Ashland is pay to work. Exactly! Now, the main reason I have it that way is because A, it supports the channel, and B, it means that I don't just get literally anybody joining, and that way we don't have people doing very crazy and weird stuff. It's a sort of little self-moderation in a way, you know? You're not supposed to play with the trains like they're dolls. They can't kiss. I'm screenshotting that just so I can put it as a caption later on. I can edit the screenshot of the head-on collision. It's well worth it, I'd say. I always have a great time. I think another thing to consider is the way that Dak used to put it. Basically, it's just like a membership to a club, you know? I was on Heiss's 2-year membership stream last month, and people were constantly trying to line one guy into every house track possible. I can imagine. I can imagine the chaos from that. This morning, I finally found a 700E with a full Rail Chief passenger car set in original boxes that I'm sure won't sell. I say that because it's almost 20K and it's sat unsold since 2011. Jesus, 13 years? You want Eagle in the shed here in Whittier? Brunk can... excuse me, Brunk can run the packs till it's repaired. Yeah, sure, sure. We can put the damaged cars over in Bryson. See if they all fit there. And then we can use... you know what? We'll actually put Sky on the main line. We'll put Skyline on the main line today. We got a little bit of stuff to Alarka. Might as well take her out for a spin, right? I think you should get a backup engine. It just happened we can use those instead. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's kind of why we bought number 14 here, actually. Yeah, she is for the sawmill, but she's also here for... oh, run out of... shh, Mudge, it'll be fine. What are you talking about? That'll just be comedy. Actually, the Alarka fueling stand is already up and running, so if we run her out there, it'll be perfectly fine. But I do agree, Train-Applier, we probably should get another backup engine, especially considering our current track record. Especially considering how terrible we've been with derailments these last few streams and how we've been tanking the rating. much money do we have, actually? We have... Well, we can always take out more loans. Loans are not hard to do. What about a C-25? I was thinking of going for either a K-35 or a D or C-46. Because I'm thinking, because I know we've had some people who have been considering joining up one way or another. I'm thinking if we want to start preparing for when we have a larger mainline run. And the C-25 and the T-22 probably aren't going to be able to handle the mainline run from Silva the best. Tank engine. Ah, yes, let me buy another 282, a K-28T. Throw that on the mainline, baby. Totally not going to end in disaster. Do derails cause overhaul time to come sooner, or just degrade the damage spec? Derails don't, like... I think for overhauls, it's more reliant on how long you've been running the trains. Like, after a certain amount of mileage, you start needing to overhaul them. Derails are just, brain is not braining. Sorry. Derails are mostly just temporary damage. A12 up red marble grade. That sounds like a brilliant idea. Hold on, let me install the mods. Get the Virginian AE on the logging branch. Before I go, when I built the entire railroad from Silva to Andrews, I made the huge mistake and gave a P-43 13 cars with the red marble grade, and guess who forgot to tie the errand? Oh no. Well. Massacre on red marble. Engineer is a dumbass. Runaways can be a bit of fun, though. They can be. Aside from the part where your rating goes down and completely tanks and dies. 53% operation safety. Hold on, what are the percents now? 30, 40, 10, 30. Okay. That's good to know that the passenger service equipment is just 10%. Good to know. When you said Virginian AE, I thought you were going to say Virginia and Truckee, and now I have mental picture of a V&T 1870 style 210-10-2. A 210-10-2, but it just looks like the, what's the engine? It just looks like Rocket. Should I also repair the freight cars or let them continue up to Robinson? How damaged are the freight cars, Nina? What's the average percentage, and what's the outlier? The highest damage on any car. Second car is a 0? What? Okay, that should... Yeah, no, those should definitely be repaired. Yikes. It'll take like a day to repair them, but... Oh my goodness. Baggage car is also at 0. I'm gonna have to cheat to repair that one. Hold on. We'll do that later. How's Pertha holding up? She doing okay? Did she survive the Thanos snap? It's weird how you can't repair the baggage car without cheats. I mean, it's also kind of weird that you can't obtain the baggage car without cheats. Eagle is at 7%. Hey, if it works, it works. What I'd recommend, Nina, is get your train up to Robinson's Gap, deliver all the coal cars, and then just bring only the engine and the damaged cars down to Bryson and get them repaired down there. I don't think we have enough shop crews in Alarka to really do much of anything, unfortunately. Yeah, we only have one. Gonna hire a second crew for tomorrow. Bryson, however, has 5 shop crews, so you should be good enough down there. Oop, that is not the right way to go. Should probably refuel Skyline soon. Don't worry, that's the plan. The problem is the only diesel fueling stand on the railroad, Katie, is all the way up in Alarka. So we're going to Alarka today. The heavy Pacific is dead. That sounds like a parody that you'd see in trains. Good thing I didn't take the Alarka train. Yeah, thank goodness. It means we actually have a use for this engine. Well, okay. Originally, plan of action was that we were going to have Eagle, number 1, take the train. Take the passenger train, but because she had a head-on collision with Pertha number 4, we've had to have Eagle, she's out of service, she's being brought back today, and number 3, Brunk, who was going to take the job to Alarka, is going to be doing the passenger runs for the day. And so because of this, we have our backup diesel, and she's low on fuel, but hey, it's a good excuse to get her refueled, right? I think we might. You know, that's honestly a fair idea, Nina. Signals would probably be a safe bet. How does one use up his free hours on this railroad? What do you mean, T14? Free hours can be interpreted in multiple ways. Even if we leave them on ABS. Yeah, but even ABS is useful, you know? You just know where the trains are and you know if you're safe to go or not. Could I help with you? Oh no, it's paid supporters, man. Paid supporters. So yes, you can. It'll just be the monthly subscription. Depending on the decoder, if it doesn't have a dynamo, you can probably disable the sound somewhere. Don't know if anyone knows this, but when the General was used for excursion runs, did they give it a dynamo for the headlight? I'm asking because the Bachmann model plays that dynamo sound. They probably didn't. And yeah, as Katie says, there probably is a way to disable the headlight. It might be a little bit tricky. I know that on some engines, the CVs for this stuff is kind of stupid. Because instead of having separate CVs that you need to modify for each and every thing, like the headlight, whether it's a wood burner or a coal burner, whether it's an articulated engine or whatever, for some reason that's all bundled into one CV and you just have to find the right combination in the numbers. It's weird. Let me squeeze by you onto the main there, then you'll be clear for your Larka. It'll take me a minute, Nina. I have to shove these cars back into the Whittier yard. But yeah, I'll be out of your hair soon. My brain. So how much just to help drive a train with people? I could do it by myself, but people? People equals more shenanigans. See also the fact that Nina had on the passenger train today. Hello, Nina, by the way. This is actually a really picturesque photo. I am very mad at myself. Oh, looks like I'm probably gonna have to shove some cars out of the interchange here. Do you want to have to switch out the interchange, Nina, or should I deal with that before I leave for Alarka? Because there are a couple of cars here that aren't going to fit all on one track, but I'm going to have to shove them out of the way because of the Alarka stuff. Can do that when I get Perth up done, and once I get Brunk underway into Bryson. Okay, I'll leave it here then. Not even a trial run. Nope, I need to get some support somehow, you know. Gotta have some way to have the channel financially viable, and if I'm handing out free trials to people, people are just gonna keep asking me for it. We can uncouple that, unhook that. I'll be out of the way in a momento. Oh god, now I'm just thinking about what if I did do free trials, and I'm just thinking about how I would be able to turn down people who obviously would just want to derail trains immediately. I'm out of your way now. Oh, don't worry, I got another minute to wait. Gotta do a few more moves. I've had Peaches from the Mario movie stuck in my head these past few days, and I can't explain why. I still need to see the Mario movie. I haven't actually watched it yet. And I haven't watched the Sonic movie either, so I can't really be hyped for the third one. Okay, I can be hyped for the third one. Never mind. I do remember that the first two have gotten really good reviews. And good movies out of big franchises is always nice. Don't forget the crummy. Don't worry, don't worry. We're gonna be putting a coach on the back of this train, actually, along with a caboose. And donk. Release the Kraken, I mean handbrake. Alright, leaving town, Nina. Be out of your way shortly. Have a good run, don't be like me and have a head-on with a PAX train. Oh, don't worry, I can't have a head-on with the PAX train, but I can be the PAX train in the head-on. Here, hold on, let's see. Ooh, a lot of people going to Alarka Junction. Let's load up for those. Less stops means more momentum, means less fuel wasted, so... Sonic 1 is alright, Sonic 2 is pretty good, 3 has a lot to live up to. Is Jim Carrey gonna be on again? Is he gonna be Eggman? That's all that matters. That's the most important most important element of all this. There's a 1/2 dual pack DVD of most Walmarts. You know, that could be a good movie night. Movie night to have with my sister. Because sometimes she'll come over. We watched like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the first one. I still haven't seen the second. I really should. The first was amazing. Even though I'm spoiled for both the first and the second, I know literally everything about them. Both Spider-Verses are incredible. So I've seen. Like, I've listened to the soundtrack of the second movie a lot. Especially the trains chase part of the soundtrack. That is such good music. Stunning visuals, great storyline, great animation. My father was a little bit confused by it, but that's just because it was so fast-paced, you know? There's so much going on. Carrie is coming back for Sonic 3. Fun fact, he said he wouldn't come back unless he got a script that was written in gold, and he's coming back for Sonic 3, so very good at talking about the film's quality. It also could just mean that their budget was really high and they were able to afford somebody to transcribe it into gold. Can you imagine being an actor, being like, oh, I want this in gold, and you literally get a block of gold with the entire movie script for your birthday? Oh, that'd be hilarious. Alright, we're gonna need to worry about our fuel consumption today. Gotta make sure we don't get too low on that before we make it to Alarka. I was picturing an intern with a gold Sharpie. Yeah, just a solid gold Sharpie. And King Midas would like to know your location. Hello, General Bob. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. How many cars do you need to supply the Tier 3 sawmill? 15. 15 per day. We have Tier 3 on this save. I'm planning on upgrading it to Tier 5 eventually, but we're probably going to have to wait a little bit until we can get some mods to add new cars for hauling logs before we do that. Fun fact, the bit about King Midas turning his kid into gold likely wasn't added until the 1800s because writers just thought it would be more dramatic that way. In all reality, it wasn't made until 2001, specifically for the TV adaptation. They needed more spice and more drama for the late night mama drama, you know? For those of you mothers in their mid-40s regretting their life's decisions now, have this depressing story about a kid who died to remind you about the fragility of life and why you shouldn't have your child be pawned off at auction. If anything King Midas touches turns into gold, how did he have a kid in the first place? Oh god, that would be so painful. Dying from the inside because... I think he probably had the kid before he got cursed. Just sneaking suspicion. Midas touch, but it's for model rarity addiction. Everything you touch turns to brass. You know, it could actually be a really interesting modern rendition of Midas's touch. Instead of it turning the entirety of a like, if you touch, say, a banana, the entire banana turns to gold, only the portion that you actually touched turns to gold. Plus maybe, like, an eighth of an inch around where your fingers were, you know? That could make for a very horrifying story. People get into a fight, somebody slaps the Midas guy across his face, and because technically they touch, technically they're in contact, the palm of that person's hand just becomes gold and stiff and hard and can't move anymore. I don't actually. That sounds worse than just having the entire person turn to gold, dude. Because they're conscious and they know exactly what's going on and they have to deal with the consequences of this situation. Oh god. New Super Mario Bros. 2 intensifies. Congrats, you got 1 million coins! It's just a statue of Luigi. We're doing pretty good on fuel consumption. We've only gone through 2 gallons since we left Whittier, and we've made it, what? How many miles? 1, 2, 3, 4 miles, roughly. Yeah, so we're going 1 mile on relatively flat, or 2 miles on relatively flat ground is 1 gallon of diesel fuel. Yeah, we're gonna be fine. We'll probably have a little more of a struggle once we make it past Bryson and start heading for Alarka, but whatever. That's a problem for me in 2 minutes, not for me right now. What I think needs more recognition is the myth where the guy with the rock in the hill, Sisyphus, casually locked the literal embodiment of death in a box and left it there. In fact, that's what the rock is punishment for? Wow. That's surprising that people don't talk about that more. I mean, admittedly, it doesn't matter to the fact that he's pushing a rock up a hill that he will never be able to actually get up the hill, but... Also, just how screwed up the actual Medusa myth is. Why she was cursed, or what she does to people, or... Why she was cursed? I don't actually know why she was cursed. Please, do tell. Medusa and her sisters, the other Gorgons, were priestesses to Athena, the virgin goddess of war and wisdom, and were expected to be just as pure. Then along came Poseidon! Hold on, where the heck is... Okay, Mudge is not blocking the route. I'm safe to continue and blow through. In Norse mythology, where Loki, or however you spelled it, turned himself into a very pretty girl horse and did activities with a normal horse to stop some guy from building a wall. The invention of furries. My first locomotive was a DC/DCC. It ran horribly, but it's my only DCC. You might be able to fix up the motor somehow, or buy somebody. Buy somebody. Yes, I know how to words. You can probably pay somebody to fix it for you. Make sure it runs a little better. Clean it up. I shall now try the act of sleep. Good day/good night. Good luck, T14. You're gonna need it. Considering your track record these last few streams. Sleep well, man. Sleep well. And then along came Zeus. He held his thunderbolt. I love those memes so much. God, the one video where that guy just reaches out and actually grabs power lines and it just explodes with the sound of like a dying weasel as somebody screams. Truly the rariter of all time. Verily. Clearly with the best stream title to date. 100% creative. Hello, Pokerface. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Then along came Enter Poseidon, Zeus, or Hades here, and screwed everything up. Literally the basis of all the problems in Greek mythology. Hades was actually one of the better gods in the moral compass. Hey, just because somebody's good on the moral compass doesn't mean they can't screw things up for everybody else. I think it just needs a wheel cleaning, gearbox, and motor cleaning, and probably more oil. Probably. Probably. That's always a headache to do, though. Is this what you want? Come on! Strike me down, Zeus! You don't have the ball! Hades wanted literally just to rule his underworld with his wife and for everyone to not try and screw it up. Ironically, Aphrodite, the goddess of love, caused way more problems, like, I don't know, the entire Trojan War. The only thing I know about the Trojan War is the horse. What was that caused over? Was it just literally, like, two kings simping over the same goddess? Is that it? Trojan War was caused by Aphrodite giving Hector, Prince of Troy, Helen, who was King Agamemnon. I cannot pronounce that. What was the wife of the King of Sparta. Ah, I see. Yeah, I can understand why somebody would be pissed and start a war all over that. Alright, I'll meet you in Hemingway, Nina. I know that's what we already planned for, but just double checking, since that seems to be about where we're gonna match. Basically, all the gods chose sides and had pissing matches about it. You know, it's really funny to think that you could call the Trojan War a proxy war then, if you by that definition. Basically, Aphrodite was the average shipper, throwing people into couples with no regard for the repercussions, as overly sarcastic productions put it. Still working on my Railroad and Machinima video. Made a video of my character's whistles, ooh, with a teaser trailer coming as soon, I hope. Soon, TM. You know, if I had a nickel for every time I'm going to be passing Pertha in some way, I'd have 2 nickels. Once when we were in Whittier doing the switch job, and once here now. Which, it isn't a lot, but it's kind of strange that it happened twice, you know? I know it's entirely the head-on collision's fault, but... Funny little thing, that. Also, it is 2 p.m. We've been streaming for 2 hours. Chat, what do we change the weather to? Fog. Ah, yes, the late morning fog of doom. We don't have thunderstorm, unfortunately, sheep. We only have clear, cloudy, fog, rain, and cloudy. That's it. The closest to stormy we have is rain. Rainy. Fact about the characters in my series: the first letters of their names are either from their builders, railroads that ran the class in real life, or are named after people. Important people to them in real life, or just people in general? Most of what I know is from OSP, and I quote them all the time. Example: No, His Highness the King does not have a poison addiction. He can stop any time he wants. His Highness is assassin does not have a poison addiction. It's 5 p.m. for me. Ah, so you're on the East Coast. Yeah, it's 2 p.m. on the West right now. How much oil are we at right now? 106. Oh, geez, we burned through a ton climbing up the hill. We're still totally going to make it to Alarka. We'll be fine, but yikes, that's a lot of fuel that we burned through by now. For example, BR and NE number 6, Lewis, was named in remembrance for the late engineer that died from malaria, who Het? Do you mean had? I'm confused. Took care of Lewis when he worked in Panama, helping with the construction of the Panama Canal. Also, my road, the Black Ring in Northern canonically. Oh, you're so close to having the same acronym as Gilded. Canonically exists in some form of fantasy thing with gods and stuff running around. Ah, so whenever you have a derailment, just blame it on Zeus. Engineers in the locomotives sometimes grow a bond. Does that mean that the engineer is a parasite? But it's one of those parasites that's actually beneficial to have? An engineer is a beneficial parasite for Thomas. Let's go $120. It's probably not anywhere near enough to pay back a loan on its own. In the case for BRNNE number 70, Hammond, I just named him after Hammond from the original Top Gear / the Grand Tour show. sometimes it's all the excuse you need to name something. Goofy character. I want reference. Nice in a view of the main so we can see that beautiful status at almost 0%. Not quite 0%. Only 46% of the way to 0. We gotta up that number, man. My biggest short on where my Pacific Paul finds out the yard Hammond was supposed to organize is in disarray with this express train trapped around some freight cars, resulting in the quote. I'll let you get back to your choo-choos. Shorts are a great way to get exposure for a series like this. And just having a little meme like that, a little reference that a lot of people can get, definitely worth doing, man. This is a new railroad. What happened to the Araloma? Gone bankrupt? Nope, the problem with the Araloma was that we had so much work to do every day that it legitimately took us 3 weeks of streams to get one in-game day worth of work done. It was not worth it. So I decided to downscale because we didn't have as many operators, as many engineers as we used to. So I decided to downscale and get a railroad that's better sized and scaled for what we're actually doing, you know? And so on this railroad, we only have Alarka to Whittier. That's it. If we get more channel members, I'm going to expand down to Silva. Get a little bit of a longer mainline run so we have more work to do out here with the switching jobs, and we have more trains to run up and down the line. See, Athena, this is why we shouldn't have given them fire. These chariots don't need horses anymore, and they have like 2,000 wheels. Stop complaining, Dad. I wonder what Zeus would think of diesel locomotives. I agree with the Whittier to Alarka route. Easy to run, especially on single player, and to get access to the coal mine. With Wise at both Alarka Junction and Whittier, it's perfect. Yeah, it's really perfect for a nice... For one person, it's a sort of heavy workload, but it's not overwhelming. And for like 3 or 4 people, it's just everybody gets a job. Somebody runs the passenger service. Somebody runs the train up to Robinson's Gap. Somebody runs the train to Bryson. Somebody runs the train to Alarka, and then you have somebody switch out Whittier. You got, and it's all the reason that I like this specifically so much is because the jobs are all in such close proximity to each other. From Alarka to Alarka Junction to Bryson to Whittier, it's all basically the same distance, you know? And so because of this, you get to see more people passing by each other. Like, for instance, with me switching out Whittier in the morning when number 4 came down from Robinson's Gap and passed me there. Or the head-on collision with number 4 and number 1 right outside of Whittier. But also just, like, passing Mudge and Bryson, for instance. Really wish I never expanded to Silva. It's so stressful running Silva to Alarka. Yeah, Silva to Alarka isn't the best for single player. I don't like Silva on single player, personally. If you want GP30, you can always go and change your game mode to Sandbox for like 5 minutes, and then check off the route to Silva so that you no longer own it. He'd love them. They use the power of the electric. True, true. He'd probably like electric locomotives even more, though. Because the electricity has to go all the way through those overhead wires of those third rails. Rather than just being generated on the engine, they come from somewhere afar. Railroader Interurban Edition. He would hate diesel and electrics more. Look, that one's lightning powered. That's my territory. Stop. I can see that going either way. Either pride in the fact that people are using his electricity, or disgust in the fact that people are using his electricity. You tend to run packs forward up to Alarka or in reverse? I forget. I tend to run it forward and actually reverse it in Alarka. It can be a little tricky to do in Alarka, but it's not impossible. It's not too hard. So reverse it down to the Alarka. Oh, no, what I do is I actually turn it around up here in Alarka at the Y. The way I do it is I detach the engine, and... actually, no, I detach the observation, then shove the coaches onto another track, keep the engine and the baggage car, hook those up to the observation, then turn those around the Y, then reassemble the passenger train. There is just enough space to do it up here. So I haven't joined the stream today. I'm helping a friend building his house. No worries, man. No worries. There's no strict obligation like, oh no, you have to be here when the stream begins. Nah, if you got other things to do those other things. For me, I use the Alina's map mod using the Alarka balloon loop to turn passenger trains for the run to the junction, and then use the Y at said junction for the return trip to Alarka. I remember when there used to be a balloon loop over here, like it split off over here and it actually turned around. Those were interesting times. Kind of missed those days, honestly. It was really cool to have that. This is one balloon loop for the end of the line. Oh, good lord. I mean me. That one is flying! They made a metal bird! How are you not at all concerned about all this? Zeus, did you take your pills today? The insinuation that a god is crazy enough that they need to get prescription meds. Do you prefer road trains to switching chores and rotor? Personally, I prefer mix. I prefer road switching. I find that the most fun. Because I always find that when running trains, there's this nice balance between switching and running, you know? Admittedly, I think I prefer switching overall. Like, I like having the mainline runs to divvy things up, but all things considered, this is not a very long mainline run between Alarka and Whittier. Probably spend like a little more time doing the switching jobs than I do the mainline runs. People have already figured out how to mod the current map with new tracks. It's only a matter of time until somebody figures out how to create a whole new map. It's probably already happened by now, honestly. I've been kind of tempted to try and learn how to mod the game just so I can do that myself. But I don't think I'm gonna learn anytime soon how to use the Unity mod editor just to build tracks for an entire map. Maybe for a branch line, but entire map, probably not. Like using your brain as the switching is like a puzzle. Personally, I see it more less as a puzzle and more as like a logistical challenge. Which I guess a challenge is adjacent to a puzzle in my mind. I don't know, something about it, there's some distinction between the two. One of my favorite mods I've seen is the 2% bypass to red marble. That's kind of boring, honestly, though. Red marble, the big reason it's interesting and entertaining is because it's such a huge challenge with the 4 and the 3%. I don't know, it just doesn't seem as fun to me. Seems kind of lame. My railroader feels so much different than this one just due to more industries and track options. My short line from Whittier to Alarka feels as big as a line from Alarka to Silva, jeez. I know you have the West Bryson Industries, and that seriously amps up what there is to do, but wow. I think it could be fun to add what... West Bryson Industries could be a fun one to add if we got more people playing with us. Could you imagine actually having 2 people switching out that area and having a dedicated train from Silva all the way to Bryson that just like runs twice a day from the interchange and back, just hauling a massive amount of cargo? Have 2 people switching, have one with like a K28T and one person with an SW1. My friend has been streaming Rareorder a lot. Me and him are really loving streaming the game, but there's this one really extremely annoying Strasbourg Thomas phoner who keeps joining the call. He can't take opinions and he talks about it all the time. He that bro that must have an unhealthy addiction. We all know that kind of person. That one dude who cannot take the hint that the way he's acting is just not fun for anybody but him and mildly inappropriate. Silver to Bryson freights happen a lot on my saves. I can imagine. I've seen the West Bryson Industries. They are... You look at the simplicity of Appalachia Hardwoods, and you're like, oh, this is so hard, there's only 2 tracks. You wish there was only 2 tracks after they add all the industries down here. Also, hypothetically, if I ever do make a diesel... What the heck did I press? You guys didn't see that, never mind. If I ever do make a diesel-only save, I'd want the big whole collar... Whole collar. I can words. Coal hauler. To be an E8 AB set named Big Red and colored as such. Why not go for an ABA F unit set, though? I feel like that'd be a little more appropriate for the freight hauling, personally. One time we told him, can you please not join the call, and he acted like a drama queen and reported the stream. Was this like a stream on Twitch or just a stream on Discord? How the heck did they report it? Barely bro gets whatever he wants. He's 21 years old and he gets away with this? Bruh. Entitlement.mp4. Badparenting.mp4. Birdtown branch at Ela is pretty gnarly too. I've seen the Birdtown branch. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of it. Well, like, that's the one that adds a brewery at Ela, right? I've seen the track diagrams to that. I kind of don't think that's great. I think that having towns that don't have much going on for them is, like, healthy. So having something small like Ela isn't a bad idea, you know? I use the F7 ABBA combo myself. I still wish they would just nerf diesels so they're not so powerful, so they actually feel like the real thing, man. One funny mod that would be interesting, as you fill up your diesels, you hear an old tiny gas pump ding sound as the diesel fills up. I would love that. I would love to see somebody do that. An F7 ABB set. I don't like sets that have more than one A unit, looks-wise, when it comes to car body units, at least. See, the thing is, an ABBA set is more realistic than an ABB set. More often than not, the railroads would actually put 2 A units back to back in those things. I can see why you would prefer the looks of an ABB or something like that, but for freight hauling, it would just make more sense to have ABBA or ABA. Just wanted to mention, still thinking about model railroads, an interesting locomotive that I have. It's an Aristocraft 242. Ooh, but I got it at an antique shop. That's a tongue twister. Where it was lacking a tender. It was also missing its leading wheels, making it an 042. So I had the task of giving it a unique backstory as to why, as a one-off switcher from Baldwin that was almost scrapped but managed to escape. It's just like that one Thomas movie, basically. The Rio Grande Zephyr would like to know your location. Also, the Great Northern Empire Builder and the Santa Fe. What was the name of it? Super Chief? I think it was the Super Chief. Might have also been the El Capitan. Might have been both of them. You know, we're probably going to need to buy a tank car to start refueling all these diesel stands. I know we only have 2 and we only have 1 diesel right now, but we should probably still do it just in case. Of course, that involves some heavy mods like giving bunkers and tanks. Yeah, but that's the fun part, you know? Building up a chunky little tank engine, scratch building a monstrosity. I say as I haven't actually scratch built a locomotive yet. I really should one of these days. But you need spare cash, diesel fuel is pricey? Well, don't worry, we can always just take out a bigger loan. All we need to do is just drive this number up and pay back more interest payment over time. Is this a terrible idea? Absolutely. Would we do it anyways? Also absolutely. Option to modify and customize steam engines beyond prototype would be neat for railroad. Give the tank engine a tender as well. Get one of the basically be like one of those really jank trench engine rebuilds where they add like a 10-foot tender that's just for fuel and nothing else. No water, just fuel. Ah, sorry. God, I hate that that happens so often. Been having this weird dream lately. Basically, what if Thomas and Friends took place on the American narrow gauge? Kenosha intensifies. I'm actually starting up to come up with new bases for all the characters. I've actually done a little bit of world building, and an idea like that, except with Railroader. Doing a sort of Railroader machinima or whatever, following just a couple of locomotives as they as they get to wild antics. The railroad slowly expands. Is it a stupid idea? Absolutely. Would it be fun to do? Also absolutely. Crushing debt. You know, true. Crushing debt is railroading. Machinima, I mean, I can send you some ideas about that, Mudge. I'll send them in the yard chat later. I actually came up with... I might have made it a little bit too personal. Might have came up with way too many ideas. One thing I would want to see in the future update is a combine car for the 1900 open-end Pullman coach, the perfect car for a tourist train. That's just the perfect car for a train in general, like a good passenger train. Just having a combine slapped onto the back of your freight, a combine and a coach. Sometime in the future, when the Jefferson Hill Model Railroad is finished enough, I plan on giving the 042, whose name is Neil, whose name will be Neil, his own series, likely starting with how the little engine escaped. A jailbreak story with a tiny 042 tank engine. Favorite one so far is Oliver, a Ferries and Cliff House 242T, who was converted into an 040 by a logging company, then reconverted into a 242 by splitting a boxcar's truck in half. I was gonna say that's a wild idea, but then again, that's just authentic narrow gauge jank. One variant I thought would be cool to see in Railroader is the EMC AA, an E-Series diesel that has half reserved for baggage space. That's strange. That is an interesting design. Don't actually see the baggage space on this, though. Oh, that's because those are TA diesels. Oh, that must be the baggage door where the square windows are. Okay, okay. Has half the power of a normal one. It's just a weak little locomotive, but it doesn't matter as much because you're not, like, hauling literally everything with it. You're just hauling baggage in, like, 2 passenger cars. The bro thinks the Strasbourg top. What? That is certainly a delusion. What the heck? Could be worse, could be Kane Fan 701, who firmly believes he's married to a humanoid incarnation of the Titanic. It's not a body pillow, Mom. It's my wife. Alright, link him up. Undo the handbrake. We'll roll down these cars, shove this up into the car that's sitting here on the mine track, pull it back down the hill a little bit, but we'll only go until the switchback, at which point we will uncouple these 2 cars from the train and continue up the hill and get the stuff at M2E. Wait, hold on. Oh, wrong direction to be pushing the train. Whoops! Your waybill cycled on one of the cars in Upper Walker. Roger. Roger that. There you go. Bada bing. Bada boom. Bro's done some really bad things. Even if I do talk about them, I don't want Sir to get in trouble. Uh-oh. That sounds like somebody who's done something illegal. That's concerning. OMG is straight. Now, what are you talking about? This is a boat, clearly. The water is just very gray and murky today, and we had to add some supports. Look at that blue-green, definitely a boat. Exactly, definitely a boat. Look at the teal, it's just like water. We need our boat to roll smoothly over the water. Exactly. That's why we put the boat on some gravel padding and on a set of rails that are held together using some wooden ties. It's a boat, guys. It's a boat. Alright, bonk. Oh, wait, right, okay, right. I thought that was the entire passenger train coming up the hill here. I'm like, uh-oh. Somebody forgot to change the AI, but no, no. All is well. Series will focus on how Neil settles into a life of short-line operations while also getting used to working with diesel locomotives, but I can't say more or I'll spoil the whole series. That is the one downside of making something, is you have to hold off on sharing everything with everyone, because if you share it all, then you just spoiled the story and nobody's going to be interested in it because they already know how it ends. And that's the worst part about all this. But you have to spoil enough to get people interested, you know? Get them engaged. Happy Oh, right, I forgot it's that month. It's also my sister's birthday month, which is perfect for her. I need to go spam her with memes, hold on. Oh! Oh, that's disgusting. You know what? It's so nasty, I'm forcing you people on stream to see it. Enjoy. Now you know what I have to deal with in life. I am not the only one cursed with this knowledge now. Let's go. An eggsicle? I wonder, what I really wonder about is what's this transparent material around it? Is it just ice? Did they just freeze an egg in a popsicle mold surrounded by water? Is that it? Also, how does it taste? Important question. Asking for a friend. You should send that in the secret chat so I can show my girlfriend when she gets back. No, I'll just send it in off topic. Actually, hold up. Do I have it on my phone? I do have it on my phone. There you go. It's in off topic. Enjoy. How to lose a girlfriend. The dangers of sharing egg. Rerailed. Oh no, did we have another head-on collision? Been having a great time so far today. Is this part of a balanced breakfast? It's part of an imbalanced breakfast. It's a breakfast that you eat while you're walking across a trapezoid? No, I can't remember what the name of the circus thing is. This should not be part of any meal. You're right, it should be a snack. And you should eat it in the summer. Trapeze, okay, yeah, I was close. I was almost there. But it's one of those breakfasts that you eat while unicycling across the giant rope at the top of the circus tent. It's a high wire, okay. We're learning circus terms today, boys. We're also learning that somebody made this abomination of God. Oh, we only delivered 2 of those cars. Hold on. We can fix that pretty easily. Boop. Go ahead. We're gonna undo all the glad hands here just so I don't have to worry about them later. There's how many engines I now own in order. I'm gonna say 9. Ah, damn. That was gonna be my original guess. I was gonna say 10 just for double digits, but I second guessed myself and brought it down to 9. Dang. So close. Zeus from earlier. What have they made now? Oh, don't worry, it can get worse. I recently got a diesel. Hey, nice. What diesel did you grab? SW1, GP9, modded engine of some kind. I think I need to be exiled to work, switching jobs for a while. As the third passenger car needing to go to Bryson Yard and Bronx Tender is now kerfuffled. Oh boy. You're having a wonderful time. There's no problems here, officer. What are you talking about? No, it's not locomotive abuse. It's just somebody being a complete moron. I don't know why, but it seems that every week there's one person who just completely zones out and derails a lot. Sometimes it's been me, sometimes it's been you, sometimes it's been terrain applier, sometimes it's been Mudged, but every week there's one person who just seems to have trouble. It's a curse. I rolled in one on my competency. Let's see what my competency is today. I'm taking a photo of this. I got a natural 20. You gotta be kidding me. Oh goodness. That was perfectly timed. I'm sending that photo on off topic too. My safety rating remains at 0. Don't worry, we're slowly getting there, man. Just wait until I join and start doing all my jobs in first person. Well, honestly, that could be a fun kind of challenge. Make it so that everybody has to do their jobs in first person. Could also be surprisingly easy if you pair up, you know? Have one person be, like, running up and down the train, uncoupling, coupling, hitting handbrakes, and another person handling the locomotive and just making sure they know where the engineer is. Or not the engineer, sorry, the conductor. Running first person as a team is fun for short term, but can be stressful. Yeah, I can see why it could be stressful. Mudge and I have done it before, though. We did it back a couple of streams ago. After the stream, we had a little bit of extra work we needed to do. I need to get a second Ko-Fi sub for these kind of ops. I know my conductor. She's sitting behind me, you lucky bastard. That is the easy solution for getting a conductor, though. Just get a romantic partner who who is willing to be the other half of your train crew. One of the servers I was playing on mandated it effectively, but no one liked working with someone else because they could just as easily do it themselves. Personally, I find it fun when you want to have some lazy work. You don't want to have to do too much. So you split the work up between two people. And it's multiplayer, right? Like, there's a lot of fun to be had working with other people in multiplayer. I can see why some people would prefer to just do, to just run their trains alone, especially because sometimes people can be dumb and route you down the wrong track, but... I can also see things very much the other way around. I just like being able to run things manually and not having to care about running 12 AI trains at the same time. Entirely fair. So, that's why I'm glad we have so many people in this save to handle most of the jobs. Because, like, sure, we're not doing all the jobs at the same time, but we don't need to, you know? Some jobs can wait. But the passenger job we can run on AI because it's super easy to do and little work to moderate and manage. Speaking of passenger services, we're going to have to pick up this sucker, and what are we going to load her with? Aha! We're going to load her with people to Bryson. Not like I have a choice. It's nice not running 5 trains at once. Exactly, exactly. It's nice being able to kick back, and yet still having people occasionally come by and, like, still have it feeling like the railroad is alive because you're not the only person running it or the only train running today. It's nice. It's nice. Well, I'm not kicked back when I'm letting AIs run everything, but I do get to chill and just run one job at a time. Exactly. Rather than multitasking to all hell, you can just somewhat chill, somewhat relax. It's still running trains, but... know, it's kind of funny. We came here with 6 hoppers and 1 boxcar, and we're leaving here with only 3 hoppers and a boxcar. I think we downsized a little bit. Pretty sure you guys are going to be like, why would you retire your P43 from the coal drags? It's been struggling a little bit, and do not wear the engine out. P43 is pretty good for coal drags, honestly, though. Like, she might struggle on the return trip, but most engines other than, like, a Santa Fe would have troubles on a return trip anyways. Hey, Wes, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Alright, let's load up on those 8 passengers that want to go to Bryson. And 13 to Hemingway. And hightail out of here. P43 can manage the trip as long as she's got momentum. Moment she stalls, she's dead. Wish we could get a USRA 282s. USRA 282s would be awesome. It's like another wheel arrangement. I mean, it's not a unique wheel arrangement, you know, but the K35 and K28s aren't the most popular, and having a 282 as a more powerful engine would be really nice. Really fun addition. Excuse me. I have contributed a like to the stream. Now to not confuse the railroader noise with my railroader noise. Good luck with that, Mateo. And welcome to the stream, man. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully it shouldn't be too hard to distinguish. So we're running a diesel today. Oh, you're running 2 Jeeps. Never mind. I stand correct. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be so easy. You can distinguish. No. No. It's not gonna happen. Good luck. Now that I think about it, I think I should go sicko mode with the engines that pulled the coal drags. What do you mean by sicko mode? Like scrapping them, getting something new instead in their place? Trying to mash them up all into one lineup to climb the hill together? More subs than Sam. That's an accomplishment. More subs than Sam? Sam's the best guy for making Subway sandwiches, though. What are you talking about? Honestly, just only see the P43 as a passenger loco. Might get one to help Athena on the Manifest train. She is a very good passenger loco. It's a perfect wheel arrangement for it. Nice bulk. Feels right for the job. But she's also a decent freight engine, too. She's got a great water tender, you know. You can drive her pretty hard. Sits around the same power as the C55s, just on a slightly different arrangement with a longer range. Yeah, exactly. If It'd be another nice big end game option with another new wheel arrangement that we don't yet. Well, we do have 282s, but you know what I mean. How do you buy map extensions? Simple. You go to the company window either by pressing I on your keyboard or using this button in the upper right hand corner, and you go to the milestones tab. And here it'll give you options to start first phase and buy certain things by spending some money. And when you spend money to buy expansions for your railroad, sometimes you will also have to go and deliver cars to do the expansion. We actually have a car delivery today. It's a very small expansion we're doing, but for example, in order to build the diesel fueling tower here in Whittier, we had to deliver this one boxcar. It'll be built in this spot in the near future. And so sometimes you'll have to deliver cars. You'll also sometimes have to do multiple phases to buy the expansion. Like you'll have to do deliveries across 3 days, and you'll have to buy each delivery separately. Well, that's how you expand. Earlier I heard a bell and looked over at your stream. Didn't see anything belling. Was confused, and then Athena passed me at Whittier while I was switching. I was like, oh! Athena flying by. That is the one downside of playing a game while watching a stream, is getting the feedback from both the game and the stream at the same time. But hey, it's just an additional layer of challenge. More subs than Sam streams. That is an accomplishment. That is quite the accomplishment. As somebody who only has 5,000 subs and is really proud of it. How much does Sam have? Like 130k? Or is it more than that? I don't really check people's subscriber counts often. Oop. Well, the Mikado would fit well alongside the Pacific, like the Mogul to the American, and Consolidation to the 10-wheeler. Yeah, absolutely. It would be a nice addition. Then again, I feel like the Decapod and or the Consolidations are good comparison engines with the Pacific, but I still totally agree that the 282, the USRA Mikados would be awesome. 153k? Oh damn, a little higher than I thought. God, that's so insane to me to think that I was off by 4 times the amount of people subscribed to my channel. Gonna be playing some Railroader with a friend. Wish me luck, as the annoying guys there. Oh god, good luck, train applier. You are going to need that. Good luck tolerating the Thomas the Tank Engine simp. I don't normally put any weight on sub counts, but he tried to say once I was jealous of his, so now I guess he can be jealous of mine. Mine is bigger. It's not the size that matters, it's how you use it. It's people like that who give us Thomas fans a bad name. Really, that's just any community, though. It's not just Thomas, it's just people like that exist in every community, and they give that community a bad rep. all the time, and it sucks. Because there's always that weirdo, and everybody remembers the weirdo who talks about Thomas, but not the random guy who probably doesn't bring it up because it wasn't brought up in the conversation. Oh, we overshot the station. Oop, 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 oop. Cochrane Station. Are we in the station platform? We are not. Oops. No one remembers the good, non-weird things like Thomas the Spank Engine. When we do make Thomas the Spank Engine, we need to give him the weirdest little theme song recreation of the original Thomas the Tank Engine theme. It has to be terrible. It has to make people feel physically uneasy. It's not the size that matters, it's how you use it. Say that to the unmatched power of the sun. It's easy solution, Celestial. Match the power of the sun. Stop making it unmatched. The sun isn't even that big as stars go. Exactly! Exactly. You can surpass the power of the sun briefly and in extremely small quantities, and you're probably going to level a city while you do it, but who cares? I cast gun! Prepare to meet God! Shoots the sun. The sun shoots back. The sun perishes. A lot of people go to the sun's funeral. But it's fine, because even though the sun is dead, the sun's son will be serving us from here on out, continuing the family tradition. Alright, do we got anybody at Alarka Junction we need to pick up today? I have a feeling the answer is yes. Okay, I won't be stopping there then. You know, I've been playing Rares Online for the last week. I just hit Y to try and toggle the minimap. It's not Y. It's Control P in this game. The reactions to the egg popsicle on Discord, beautiful. Love the way they're turning out. The what? What do you mean, eggs popsicle? What? Were you guys not around for that? Did you not see? Do I need to pull this up on stream again? Hold on, because I will bless you with this knowledge. Behold. Oh god, I love this thing so much. I also love how we have the most cursed cuisine on this channel. We've talked about the snap pea and marinara sauce nachos that turned out really good. You made me tab over to stream for this? Absolutely. Everybody needs to know about this, Mudge. Have you seen the coleslaw popsicle? Excuse me? What? I need to pull up my popsicle molds. You're giving me ideas. About the Thomas, though, I'm planning on making my number 5 a 260 and name it James, because I wanted to do that with my first Rares Online save, but I never got a number 3 for that save. James is my favorite character, though. Raw hamburger popsicle when... Nah, not just raw hamburger. No, we gotta have raw hamburger and frozen tomato soup. How else are we gonna get the ketchup? And for the bun, we'll add baguette. We'll just add a little bit of... Actually, no, we'll add croutons. Hamburger popsicles. It's croutons and raw hamburger mixed in with tomato soup and frozen. Oh, goodness. When I was cooking, we'd make up burgers and taste the patty mix before forming it. Nothing wrong with a little raw beef. We used to eat raw cookie dough when I was younger. My mom used to make chocolate cookies a lot. Chocolate chip cookies, and we loved the cookie dough she made. And would eat it all the time. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of people here. Is there anybody going to Hemingway on this train? Yes, okay, there are. Cool. And there are 13, and there's only 9 people waiting in Hemingway to go to destinations this train is headed. Bring her in to the station. I might end the stream a little bit early today. Just announcing this in advance because I'm considering ending it once I finish doing this passenger run today. There's something going on that I kind of want to do a little bit of, and it's time sensitive, and I'll only have an hour left after this anyway, so. It's okay though, I blessed you guys with the egg popsicle. Life is good. I have nothing to fear. Alright, everybody aboard. Everybody aboard. Let's go. Why do people not like meatloaf? I haven't had meatloaf in so long that I can't actually tell you. I don't know. My one best guess would be texture, but that's just because I'm very picky about texture personally, so. I have it like it's meatballs without sauce and in a bread pan. I haven't had meatballs in forever, so I can't comment there either. Actually, I'm not sure I've ever had meatballs. Ah, yes, a diesel switcher on a mixed train. A true shortline moment. Exactly. I really love the vibe of this train here, you know. It's the perfect kind of mix, too, where it's got just a little bit of, like... Hold on. I want to take a picture of this as it's flying past. It's got the perfect amount of mixed where it's got a little bit of a bias towards one type of industry, in this case copper, except it looks like coal, but you know what I mean. But there's still some other car types to represent that this clearly is a railroad that's not purely for one thing, and there's a passenger car at the end. It's perfect. It's beautiful. I've also seen a picture of a train like this before, actually. Except it was one car shorter. It was hopper, boxcar, hopper, coach. So one less hopper, and there was no caboose on the back of the train, and it was a 260, basically the G25 in game, basically. As for the meatloaf question, one store called Sprouts had a delish meatloaf but discontinued it because people didn't like it, despite them buying it in the first place. Rip Sprouts meatloaf. I mean, you've literally got it the name Sprouts meatloaf. I would not want Sprouts on my meatloaf. Unless I personally put them there while cooking it. I would not want them to be growing on the meatloaf. Always wondered about how and why the split between Europe and America and having predominantly bogey cars versus four-wheelers came about. Like, no one in America needed less than a huge delivery of stuff? You know, that's an interesting question, actually. I'm trying to think of a reason, but I can't think of any... Well, obviously, America, we want things big and flashy, right? But, like... Practically speaking, that is a very good question of why UK trains gravitated towards the single bogie cars, while here in the US, you know, this is a 36-foot two bay hopper, and that's considered to be a pretty small car for the standards of the time. Bogies make a train car more stable. Well, if that's the case, wouldn't you think that they would have adopted them in Britain a little sooner, too? Like, I do agree. I do agree with that statement, but I feel like there's something else contributing to this, you know? It's not just that. Probably. Maybe. How's Bertha doing? Oh, Bertha's doing quite well. Recovering just fine. That hopper's not recovering fine. Oh my goodness. How much longer till these things are finished recovering? Looking at 1 day, 17 hours. Now this is a screenshot opportunity. Hey, turn on your headlight. Aw, damn. A little too late. This is so sad. Passenger cars, bogies are able to handle small bumps on the track better than a two-axle coach. Yeah, that does make sense, and that would explain why bogie coaches were used in the UK. Rather, can you imagine if they still used four-wheeled coaches? Up until, like, the British Rail era. The thing that kind of upsets me is, at least with English-speaking people, European trains are more comparable to American ones in scale, while Britain is the outlier, not the standard for Europe. Lamau. I'm gonna ditch the people to Elo. We can make a little more money by just going straight to Whittier. We're still moving coal around at 20-something ton loads up until the 2000s. Damn. That's actually kind of insane to think about. What the heck? British trains are tiny. The one benefit of British trains being so tiny, though, is model railroading. If you want to model a prototype, it's super easy to do it. It's a walk in the cake in the park. You don't need much space, you know, because you look at you look at the size of a standard American steam engine, like the ones that Bachmann are making. You look at an 060, like the USRA 060, and it's like twice as long as a small tank engine you'd see on a branch line railroad in the UK. Makes them quite convenient for small model railroads. You know what? Where am I sitting? Nah, we can get into the cupola to get better photos. Come on, train. There we go, there we go. We're gonna get a lot of nice photos on curves on this route, that's for sure. Like here, for instance. Oh, that's perfect. With the telegraph poles not getting in the way at all. The one problem with British trains being so small is that when manufacturers wanted to make HO scale trains, they was too small to fit motors in at the time, so they had to invent OO. Really? That's the reason 00 exists? It's because when it first started, there were motor size issues? Wow. That's funny. Ah, the quirks of old model railroading. That's another good picture. I like that one a little better, I think. I'm gonna have to swap sides. No. Climb the ladder. Get in the seat. That would have been a really good picture if I took it like half a second later. Damn. Funny enough, Lionel made 00 scale trains for... Wait, really? But dropped them after World War II, though some Lionel fans say the company should have expanded the 00 scale line. That's fascinating. I didn't know that. Huh. That'll be a really interesting alternate history. Also, oh my goodness, I am hightailing behind this engine. We might actually have 3 trains in the town of Ela in a minute here. God, that's insane to think. It only had a boxcar, a hopper, a tanker, a caboose as rolling stock, and a 00 scale version of their flagship 464 New York Central Hudson? Huh. Not even a coach? Lamau. Oh man, I can see the passenger train pulling away in the distance. This is gonna be really funny, just trying to stay as close to the passenger train as I can while not actually getting up to the passenger train itself. Imagine only being able to play Rares Online because you broke. Wow, what a loser. Hello, JHR. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Rares Online is still kind of fun, though. Like, sure, it's got a ton of bugs, but for some people, why spend the extra money on a new game when you've already got something you enjoy, you know? Rares Online has been fun. Yeah, this last week was a blast. Admittedly, all we did was track lighting, but sometimes that's all you need to do to have a little bit of fun. Someone actually gifted me Rarity for free around a week after it launched. Hey, lucky. It's one of the best parts in my opinion. Oh, absolutely. It's definitely one of the best parts. Yeah, Nina, it helps that we're on a slight uphill, and that I'm running a much stronger engine than yours right now. Order for 3 people so far. Only one of them has continued playing with me for more than one time. Damn. Well, they've changed the settings so that instead of making it so that you have to hold right-click to turn, you can have it so it's a toggle. So maybe some of them will be a little more interested now. Figurative example of an OO scale line layout, alternate universe thinking, would be a 464 Hudson pulling a baggage car and 2 to 3 coaches with another loco, maybe like a small 280 on freight, both on their own loops of track. That'd be a very strange vibe. Alright, I'm heading out. Alright, take care, Jack. Take care. See you around, man. You're only leaving right as we're ending the stream, so you're not gonna miss much. Alright, and we are set to take track 2. Perfect, perfect. In Train Town voice line, here comes the passenger liner. I don't remember how to do the Train Town voice line. I can do the Tony voice line or the Mobster voice line. Here comes the passenger liner. There. That any better? Shortest little toot. Alright. I think that is as good a point as any. Take a screenshot. And to call it there. Do have a little bit of something I would like to work on. It's been about 3-4 hours. Not quite 4 hours, but close. Close enough. Thank you all for tuning in on this fine Sunday morning, and I remember last stream we mentioned maybe doing a little challenge of running running trains from like Whittier to Alarka and trying to get the fastest time. I'll probably be posting something about that in the next week. I kind of didn't have the time to do it this week, but keep your eyes peeled for that. Maybe we'll have a little fun challenge here in Railroader. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Cheers, folks.